I want you to be very careful using this I am method because you will make reality obey you. It doesn't matter if you've been stuck in the same old reality or if nothing is changing. This works every time when you do it right. And I'm going to show you how in 5 steps. Number 1, there is a missing mechanism that you still haven't understood in reality creation, and no one is teaching this. This is a threshold that you must impress upon your subconscious mind to birth a new consciousness. Reality will only obey you when you birth a new consciousness. A new heaven will birth a new earth, not the other way around. That's why Matthew 6:10 says, on earth, but first as it is in heaven. You can't bypass that law. Imagine a cloud. It must reach 100% level of condensation before that cloud precipitates and it rains, right? This is the same way with our reality. If we want to change reality out there, we must first birth a new consciousness in here. And we must reach that threshold. I'll show you how in step 4. We're going to use the Holy Trinity framework to birth a new reality from scratch. Step number 2. Before you can birth a new consciousness, you must leave your old reality behind. As you do that, you leave all your problems, all your old identities, and you remove the most important part, the resistance that is going against your desired reality. So we do this by saying and feeling the words I am. As you say I am, as you feel this, you'll feel a floating sensation, and that's the sign that you've now left the old reality behind. Let me give you an analogy to paint the picture better. Think about water. Water represents the feminine womb, the creation. And so water can take any shape if you put it into different containers. Right now, your container is your current identity, which is limiting what you can manifest in your reality. If you want to expand your container, you can't do it from the container itself. You must remember that you were first water before you were the container, so that you can break free from that container, break free from that old reality, shut the door to your senses that are denying the new reality you want to birth, and in that eternal, expansive, unconditioned state of awareness, then and only then can you actually birth a new reality. Do you see how this is one of the greatest mistakes in manifestations? Most people skip step number 2, but now you won't. This is the Holy Trinity framework. Now that you understand, you must enter a receptive state of mind where you say and feel I am. And as you do that, with your eyes closed, you feel floating. Now you're ready to apply the father principle or the masculine principle to impress a new reality into the feminine counterpart. This is like a marriage that is happening in heaven. This is profound but simple stuff. Guys, it's incredible. So in step number 3, you will sense how space itself is now telling you that you now are and possess what you wanted to be and possess in the future. And as you start to claim that, you will start to feel it in your cells. Your molecular structure, your emotions will release different peptides and chemicals that will signal to your subconscious mind that you're now impressing with the masculine part of God this new consciousness, to the point where you will focus all your attention on it and you will cycle through it because the thrill of joy will increase. Okay, let me give you an example. Let's say that I've chosen to have a certain money or number in my bank account, or a certain number of amazing ideal clients, or a successful launch in my business, or breaking through an income ceiling, or just living with incredible levels of peace. You must choose one specific reality and consciousness that you're giving birth. As you say I am and you go into this floating state, you will focus solemnly in this attention, in this new reality. by claiming and feeling that you are that now. And as you do that, you will feel more and more joy. This is where you start applying the threshold. And so you feel this joy, this sensation, and your subconscious mind is being impressed more and more. Just like a cloud, you're creating and putting in more condensation, so that it rains. The crazy thing in step 3 is that your internal reality will start to feel more real than all of your external reality combined. As you do that, that's when the feeling of joy will explode, because you will realize all of these seeming limitations and problems that I had imposed on myself, all of these limiting stories that were trying to hold me back, are not real. They can't hold me back. In that moment, you go and you break free and you start giving birth to a new reality. So step number 3, to illustrate it, it's almost like you are now shaping that water into a new container, into a new identity. Because once you become the new identity, the new container, it is only then when you can hold the new reality. If not, you will sabotage it. That's what happens to a lot of people. Yeah. So now that you understand how to start impressing a new reality, we must know what to do when you're reaching the threshold and what signs come to make sure that you've been successful birthing a new reality. So step number 4 is, as you are reaching higher and higher levels of joy, there might be times where your mind and your ego will remind you of old problems. No, you have this, you have that, you shouldn't go that high. Your entire frequency is going up tremendously, and your ego wants to keep you down in your old earth. You're trying to go into a new heaven, and there's going to be weight that is trying to push you down. Your job is to redirect your focus into your breathing. Sometimes I breathe through the mouth as I'm sensing and saying and feeling I am now that. You will see how this transcends completely wishful thinking, affirmations, and all of those things. You will feel such a deep truth of reality in you that it will explode with joy. As you reach the threshold, you're going to breathe one more time. This is when your entire body and your entire cells are not only being reprogrammed for the new consciousness, but you will feel this oneness, this unification, that you've now birthed a new consciousness. In that moment, you take a deep breath in and you exhale. And I promise you guys, this is way simpler. If you strip out the mystical stuff, it's really simple. Let me do a quick recap of the Holy Trinity framework, and then I'll show you how to make sure you avoid a miscarriage, because there's a point where you need to discipline your mind. So to recap, you sit down, close your eyes, you say I am a few times. You decide what new consciousness, what outcome are you going to give birth. After that, you say I am a few times. Repeat it until you feel a floating sensation. That's the sign that you've left the old reality. Then, and only then, do you start listening to space itself telling you how you are now what you wanted to be and have. And as you do that, you are creating a new consciousness. The thing that you desired and your own consciousness are becoming one. And this is how you give birth. As you intensify the feeling, you feel more and more and more joy until there's an explosion of joy. You intensify the joy through breathing. This will literally take 10-20 minutes. And as you do that, you feel a complete shift. You'll open your eyes. And as you feel this deep sense of peace and relaxation, you've now given birth to a new consciousness, which in due time, naturally and effortlessly, will give life to a new reality. This is how you make reality obey you. And now, how do we avoid a miscarriage? Because just as the mom and the father come together to make a baby or a son, you must be careful that you do not let doubt, fear, stress, or anxiety pull you into a different direction where the manifestation won't become true. How do we do this, and why does this matter? Imagine that you're going on a train, okay? And there's a straight lane to your desired reality. If you stay present and conscious and you discipline your mind, then you keep going in the direction until you reach the destination and the reality appears in front of you. But if you start allowing your mind to trick you into doubt, stress, anxiety, when is it gonna come? Is it gonna work out? Needing it, putting too much importance on it, then the train starts going into a different lane. There's an opening of a lane in which you go unconscious and you start going sideways. And the more time that you go unconscious, the further away that train goes. So that's why it's so important to discipline your mind every day as an application. Still the mind. The same way that you brush your teeth, that you take a shower to be clean, we need to clean the inner thoughts, because if not, we go crazy. Once you still the mind, I want you to practice conscious breathing and discipline yourself, because this will allow you to make sure that you follow through the 5 steps to make sure that you birth a new consciousness and a new reality. So the truth that I want you to embody and feel is you can have anything you want if you can find it within yourself. That is your power. You have the 3 aspects of God in you to create and manifest any desired reality, and no one, no man, nothing in the world can take that power away from you. I invite you to rejoice in that realization and how powerful, how blessed we all are. It's insane. And use that motivation to make sure you apply every single step.